It's time to lock down the first and last signatures, attach parchment sheets to the front and back, and then trim the book. Lock down the first and last signatures with a thin strip of glue along the edge of the book. Just press and hold. It's secure in less than 30 seconds. Repeat the process on the last signature. The Darkling has a sheet of parchment paper between the text and the end paper to help keep the book clean and bright. Just as with the lockdown procedure, a thin strip of glue along the edge of the book will hold the parchment securely. By lining up the long side of the parchment with the spine, which is the long side of the book, you'll be matching the long grain with the long grain, and you'll avoid any buckling of the paper when it's glued. Repeat the same procedure on the other side, and within a few seconds you'll be able to trim off the excess from the edges. By lining up the sheet of parchment to one corner, you'll only have two sides to trim. Because we started the sew holes 1 inch from the edge of the book rather than ½ an inch from the edge of the book, you can see how much easier it is to insert a metal straight edge for the purpose of trimming off the parchment paper. With the parchment sheets already dry and secure, we can go on immediately to the next procedure. We're going to glue down the signatures at the spine. This will prevent the signatures from shifting during the trimming and rounding procedures, but this will require a few hours to dry. Plenty of wax paper helps prevent getting any glue on the boards and from the signatures sticking to the boards. Work the glue well into all of the grooves between the signatures. Whacking the book on some waxed paper will square up the signature pack and remove some of the excess glue. We're going to use some book boards and clamps so that the signature pack will remain squared while it hardens over the next 10 hours. The next procedure is the hardest of all, but it is optional. You don't have to do it, but it looks a lot better if you do. The trimming machine makes life a lot easier. We start by clamping it down solidly to a workbench. Next, we draw a line along the edge, exactly where we're going to do the trim. Make it about 1/8 inch deep. That way, if you have any problems and you have to do it all over again, you can do another trim, another 1/8 of an inch deep. The book nestles into its custom-made cradle. It's then clamped down solidly so it can't shift during the cutting process. A piece of scrap bookboard helps keep the book from shifting during cutting. A steel hacksaw blade provides a solid base for the trimming knife's final cut. The two are clamped into place. A steel metal ruler provides a solid edge to guide the trimming knife. It's clamped into place by an aluminum ruler that serves as an additional guide. The best knife for this project is long and thick. If it's too short or pliable, it'll change the direction of the cut. It also needs to be as sharp as possible, so we're going to give this project a new edge. 3 books can be cut with the blade, and then you're going to need a new edge again. The best cutting strokes are long and light, using only the weight of the knife blade. Keep the blade at right angles to the steel ruler edge. As long as everything is clamped down and nothing is shifting, you can concentrate on the strokes and the angle of the blade. Keep the work area as clean as possible. Flick away the cuttings as they fall down so they don't get in the way and change the direction of the blade. Don't rush the job and don't use unnecessary force. Otherwise everything will change and you'll start cutting into the book. As you proceed, you'll create a ledge which will be at right angles to the steel ruler just above the trimmings you're about to cut. Don't let the cuttings build up on the ledge. Clear them away and everything should go smoothly. As you get closer to the bottom, be prepared for that new sensation of cutting through the last piece of paper into the hacksaw blade. One final series of firm cuts and you're all the way through and done. This trimming machine was designed specifically for the Darkling. This was to make the task much easier and to prevent damaging finished books. Most bookbinders will use a much simpler system, but they need a lot of practice and a lot of luck to not damage the books that they're working on. Take out the book, check the results. If your knife was sharp and your strokes were smooth, the results will be as good as if a machine had done it.